and today I'm going to be cooking with two main ingredients. The first one is called Goya, or for all of my Filipino listeners, it's called Umpalaya, or they say Bitter Melon. Now here in the Bitter Melon, in this particular Bitter Melon, there's a lot of phytonutrients that are in this particular melon that will help fight the free radicals out there. And if you've got type 2 diabetes, you know, this will help control that a lot. And I'm also going to, and there's a lot of also vitamin C and vitamin A, as well as B carotene and A carotene. And also I'm going to be using tofu. I'm using tofu that has not been genetically engineered. I buy both of these at the Asian market. These are my two main ingredients, like I said. The tofu that I buy has not been genetically engineered or altered like most products here in America, or most soy products. They've been genetically altered so that they can resist pesticides, but not this particular product. So let's get started on this Japanese rendition of this dish, and then I'm going to put my little twist on it. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you rinse your vegetables or your bitter melon with purified water. That's what I always do. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to slice this melon right down the center, just like that. When I open it up, you'll see it's got these seeds and this little fuzzy part, and we're going to remove every bit of that, okay, because that's the bitter, the real bitter part of the melon, and that's what they say makes it so bitter. So what you want to do is you just want to take your spoon and you just want to run it right inside there, just like that. Now it's a little bit tough, and so you're just going to have to work at it for a few minutes and just scrape out all of those seeds and that bitter part of that makes it so bitter. I've got my two pieces of Goya, or the bitter melon. I've got all the inside. I got it all removed, and basically what I want to do is I want to take the 4 pieces that it's turned into, and I just want to dice up really nice sized pieces, or you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that in 2s, that way I get a better slice out of it. And you just want to dice up nice little edible pieces. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dice up these 2 pieces of the Goya, of the bitter melon. Okay, now I've got all of my Goya, or the bitter melon. I've got it all diced up, and what I've done is, you can see, I've cut it up into these nice edible pieces for eating. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of these and I'm going to put in this plastic container, and then I'm going to take some sea salt. I'm going to take 3 healthy pinches of sea salt, and I'm just going to let that get mixed in there real good with the Goya melon, and I'm going to let that sit in there for probably about 15 minutes. So while we're waiting on some of the bitterness to get rendered out of the melon, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take our tofu. And remember, I use soy products, and this particular tofu soy product that I'm using is a soy product that has not been genetically altered, and most American soy products have been. So I go to the Asian market and I get unaltered soy products. So you open up your tofu container, you want to drain out that water in there. Okay, once you've taken the tofu and you've drained all the water out, what you want to do is you want to just take a real simple napkin, and what you want to do is you want to slide that tofu right onto the paper napkin, and what you want to do is you want to try and just dab it a little bit and get some of the water out. And the next step, what we want to do is take our knife, and we just want to cut, you know, really nice sized pieces, probably about 1/2-inch slices of the tofu, so that we can saute it real nice in our saute pan. Okay, the next step that we want to take is to get our tofu into the saute pan, and what we're going to do is we're going to use some virgin coconut oil. Get a nice amount in there. Make sure your pan is preheat. And what we want to do is we want to get a nice golden brown on each side of the tofu and ensure that it's cooked nice and good all the way through. Now what we can do is, while we're waiting on the tofu to have a nice good brown on each side, we can take our onion, about probably about a half of onion, and we'll put some nice slices of onion. I'm going to cut it in slits right down the middle, and then just nice bite-sized pieces of onion so that we've got this already cut up. Then the next step that we want to take is I want to take miso paste. Now once again, miso paste, you can buy this at the Asian grocery, and actually any grocery store probably, but I like to go to the Asian groceries because this is made from a soy product, but it's made from a soy product that's not been genetically engineered. So what I want to do is I want to take some of our miso paste, about a healthy tablespoon, and I want to put it into a little container with some water, and I also want to take some vinegar. Alright, because we want our dish to have a little bit of liquid to it. And so we're going to take that vinegar, and we're going to take that water, and we're going to take that miso paste, and we're just going to incorporate it really well. Okay, looks like we've got most of our tofu nice and golden brown on each side, and it's pretty much cooked all the way through. And I've simply taken a white onion, and we're going to let the onion saute for just a few minutes. Okay, now we've got our white onions. They're starting to get cooked almost all the way through, nice and translucent. And from that point, what we want to do is we want to take some fresh chopped garlic. And I chop all of my garlic fresh, and we want to get that nice and incorporated with the onion. Now we can smell the richness of the flavors of the garlic and the onion. And the next step that I'm going to take is I'm going to take our Goya, which is our vegetable, and I'm going to place it all in the saute pan. Now the thing is, from this point, what you want to remember is you don't want to cook the Goya too much. Okay, now I've had the Goya vegetable, or the bitter melon, I've had it cooking an additional 2 minutes after I put in the garlic. And so what I want to do is I want to take our tofu, and I just want to slide that in there just like that. And then next what I want to do is I want to take our miso paste with water and vinegar mixture, and I want to pour that in there really well, and I want to ensure that I get that nice and incorporated. And then I'm going to take a little bit of sea salt, maybe about 2 pinches of sea salt, and then I'm going to take some fresh cracked pepper, which is going to add a little bit of depth of flavor to it, and I'm just going to saute that around for just a couple of minutes. Okay, now 2 last steps and we're done. We're going to take some just basic soy sauce. We're going to get that nice and incorporated, and then we're going to take 3 eggs, and I use free-range organic eggs. And this is where it gets a little bit tricky. You don't want those eggs to cook well done, so you got to be careful. Okay, looks like I've got my dish finished. And so what I'm going to do, I've just got a simple plate of some white rice. I particularly like Japanese rice, but you can use whatever rice you like. And I'm just going to take one of those big pieces of tofu, and then I'm going to take some of the Goya bitter melon, along with that nice paste and egg mixture that I've created. And here you have a very hearty meal. Not just a hearty meal, but it's very delicious. It's very nutritious. You got a lot of phytonutrients in here that'll help fight free radicals. And you've got great nutrition in here that'll help fight diabetes. And also in the tofu, you'll find there's a lot of protein and iron and manganese in here, and essential amino acids. So here's basically a complete meal. It's very healthy and very, very nutritious. So here you have a nice Japanese dish. And so be sure to catch out my next video.